Hello, I am Mac, at least for a day, and everything's going to be okay. As I predicted, the No Man's Sky Next Generation update is definitely coming. We just got the announcement today, and I'm going to be going over all of the features that we will be getting on the new consoles for No Man's Sky. Like I said, it's called the No Man's Sky Next Generation update, and we even know when it's going to be landing. It's going to be available on day one that the new consoles come out. Xbox Series X and S comes out November 10th, so the next gen update will be available that day, November 10th, for Xbox people who get the new Xbox console, and then November 12th is when PlayStation 5 comes out, and that's when the next generation update will be available for No Man's Sky. Like I've said before, I don't know if I'll be able to get oh man, these are cool robots. I don't know if I'll be able to get the PlayStation 5 right away. It might be sold out, but I have heard that they're making a lot of them. So, wow, that's so cool. I might be able to get one if there's enough supply. I'll check all the retailers near me. I really want to get one, but I'll get a PlayStation 5 as soon as I'm able to. But let's go ahead and read through all the new features for the next generation. It's version 3.1 for the game, and I assume that the update will download for everyone who has the game, but I don't know if there really be any features in it for the older consoles, because all of these features are just like improvements that are just available on the next gen consoles. But since it's 3.1 version of the game, it should be on everybody, but you just won't get anything if you're on the older consoles. So it says, Update 3.10 brings a graphically enhanced and smoother No Man's Sky to the next generation consoles. All enhancements are available to PC players, but I assume you have to have, a strong enough PC to handle the new features. Continue your journey in a universe with bigger bases, lusher planets, more players, faster warp speeds, and more. In other words, faster loading times. Free for all existing players. Fuller worlds. Wander across lusher, denser alien environments than ever before. Planetary terrain is populated with thicker grasses, flowers, fungi, and rocks, rendered with higher resolution textures and more detailed geometry. And there's a really cool visual for it, where it shows the before and after, where there's a lot more flowers you can see across the landscape, and the improved lighting. I'll put a link in the description to the full patch notes so you can see the different visuals. Richer base construction. I'm just gonna get inside my ship during this storm. Okay. Yeah, it says these improvements are available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and all PC players who run on Ultra settings. Richer base construction. Base building and next generation consoles can reach more ambitious heights with the ability to construct larger and more complex builds. And it shows basically a city that players have built out of the base building parts. And your journey continues. Seamlessly transition your No Man's Sky journey to the next generation. Xbox One saves are automatically compatible with the next Xbox generation, and PS4 players can upload their save data in-game for download on PS5. Not sure what the difference there is. I guess Xbox One... I don't know. Oh, maybe Xbox saves to the cloud automatically and it's more accessible, but with PlayStation, their cloud saves, you have to manually upload and download the cloud saves or something. I guess that's what they're saying. So on PS5, there's more steps to transfer the data. So I guess it's easier on Xbox, and there's an extra step on PlayStation. 32-player multiplayer. Now this part really confuses me because later it's going to say that there's full cross-play with all versions of the game, you know, on all platforms, including the next-gen consoles. But it's also saying 32-player multiplayer. So I don't understand how can there be 32-player multiplayer. Yeah, it's saying for the first time, console players on next-generation hardware can traverse the universe in sessions of up to 32 players. How is that going to work if there's full crossplay? Because right now, you can only have a max of eight ambient players on PlayStation and up to 16 people in the Nexus or in the Space Anomaly. So how is that going to work with full crossplay? If I'm in a game with, say, if I'm in a game with, I don't know how that's going to work. I guess because the way it works is you can only be in a group of players of up to 4, but if you're not in a group, there can be ambient players. And so if you're on next gen, you can see up to 32, but if you're not on next gen, you'll only see up to 8 players. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to work. It's going to be confusing. So what I'm worried about is that it would make sense that you wouldn't be able to be in a lobby with people in next gen if they can have 32 and you can only have 8. So they're saying there's full crossplay, but it doesn't make sense that... Do you see what I'm saying? I'm trying to explain it so that it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. See, say I'm on PlayStation 5, if my lobby has a maximum size of 32, but some of the people in that lobby are on PlayStation 4, it can't be the same lobby. We can't be in the same lobby if my lobby can have 32 players in it and their lobby can only have 8. It's not the same lobby, so it doesn't make sense that there would be full crossplay. We can't be in the same lobby if we have different lobby sizes. At least that's how it works in my brain. I guess Hello Games may have found a way to make that work, but it just doesn't make sense in my head how there can be full crossplay with different lobby sizes depending on what platform you're on, what generation console you're on. But who knows? I guess it'll work. We'll just have to trust them for now for it to work, but I'm sure there'll be bugs on day one. But anyway, yeah, you can have up to 32 players, explore, fight, build, and survive alongside travelers more than ever before. Crossplay. All iterations of the universe are now united, and travelers on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S can explore alongside travelers on all other platforms. I just don't know how that's going to work with different lobby sizes, but we'll see. 4K at 60 FPS. Storm's over. Players with 4K compatible TVs, which right now I have a 750p TV, but honestly the game looks beautiful on my screen even at 720p. At least I think my TV's 720p. It looks 1080p to me right now, but don't know what it is on your screen, whatever you're watching this video on. I record videos in 720p, so this video is only going to appear in 720p because it takes too long to upload with my internet at 1080p. I tried doing 1080p once and it took twice as long to upload videos. That's why I record in 720p, and that's not really going to change when I get the next generation console because my internet's not changing. I'd like to get faster internet so that I could upload faster, because if I record an hour-long video, which I really don't record hour-long videos anymore, I usually just live stream, but the problem is I couldn't live stream at 1080p. It doesn't even let me. I've tried live stream at 1080p and it says your internet speed's not fast enough. You can't even try doing that. So that's why everything I do is in 720p. I could try recording short videos in 1080p again, and it'll be twice as long to upload, but if it's a short video, it doesn't matter. But my live streams will have to stay 720p unless I get faster internet. But sorry, that's a tangent. But my screen that I'm looking at right now is 1080p, I think. But you're seeing the video in 720p, so it probably doesn't look as good as I'm seeing it right now. But regardless, I definitely don't have a 4K TV, so I'm not really going to be able to take advantage of that. But the really important thing is the new generation having more flowers. Like right now, this is really sparse with just a few of these flowers, but on the image they're showing, it'll be incredibly densely packed with flowers and other little plants and stuff, so it'll be a lot cooler looking. And like on mushroom planets, there'll be small mushrooms much closer together and whatnot. So that sounds really cool, and I'll definitely be able to take advantage of that, and that'll appear on my videos, even if 4K resolution won't. But anyway, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X owners can experience a smooth 60 FPS and 4K resolutions, and Xbox Series S owners can customize their experience with a choice of high-quality native resolution at 30 FPS or high performance at 60 FPS. So if you're on Xbox Series S, I'm guessing 60 FPS won't work very well because it's saying you can switch between them, and that's currently how it is on PS4. I could play at 60 frames per second, but I never do because it caused crashes. So it sounds like Xbox Series S is almost as powerful as the current gen. So I don't even know why they bothered with the Xbox Series S. I'm sure it's supposed to be a bit more powerful, but it's still closer to the old generation, it seems like. So I don't even know why they bothered making the Xbox Series S. It was stupid. The PlayStation digital-only version is just as powerful as the disc version. So I think PlayStation was a lot smarter in that. Xbox is gonna really get on a tangent here about the console wars, but Xbox has been doing a lot of things to really compete with PlayStation, like buying Bethesda. And this is what you get when you listen to Mac 4-Day. You get a lot of rambling off-topic stuff, but I want to talk about this. I'll get back to the patch notes in a second. But Xbox Microsoft has been doing a lot of stuff to compete with PlayStation, like buying Bethesda, and of course they've got the whole Game Pass thing where you basically have thousands of free games essentially if you pay the monthly fee, which is better than PlayStation Plus. With PlayStation Plus, well, actually they're improving PlayStation Plus as well. That's a play that Sony is doing, though it's still not as good as Game Pass. With PlayStation Plus, you just get 2 free games per month. So you basically add 2 games to your library every month, and you're paying about $6 a month. Game Pass is more, but you get access to thousands of games instantly. But a thing that Sony is doing on PlayStation 5 this is turning into the next console generation talk. PlayStation 5, if you have PlayStation Plus, you're going to get access to some other new free games besides just the 2 a month. It's like Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, a bunch of the really big games that were on PlayStation 4 are going to be free if you have PlayStation Plus. So it's going to be kind of like a mini Game Pass where there's a bunch of the PlayStation exclusives are going to be free if you have PlayStation Plus, but only if you're on the next generation consoles, which is kind of a mean thing to do, because I mean those games are playable on PlayStation 4, but you can only get them for free with PlayStation Plus if you have the new consoles. But it is a nice perk, kind of. But as far as the Game Pass thing goes, Xbox is doing a lot better, even though PlayStation is trying something, but it's not as good as Game Pass. However, where PlayStation is a lot stronger is that their digital version is just as powerful as their disc version. But on Xbox Series X, which has a disc drive, is more powerful than the Xbox Series S, which doesn't have a disc drive, but it also isn't as powerful. So I think that was a really dumb idea. They should have made it just as powerful, just like PlayStation did. So there's pros and cons on both sides. I think at this point Xbox is kind of ahead of PlayStation in the console wars, if you even pay attention to their competition, because of them buying out Bethesda, or rather buying out ZeniMax, which owns Bethesda and a whole bunch of other properties. So now there's going to be a ton more games on Game Pass, so that is making Xbox look a lot better. But in order to really have a true next-gen console, you have to pay a lot more for the Xbox Series X. I wouldn't even bother with the Xbox Series S. But on PlayStation, you're best off buying the cheaper digital-only version, unless you're a disc person. I'm not. I buy all my games digital. But anyway, I need to stop rambling. I'm sorry, I've derailed the talk. But anyway, back to the... okay, really cool thing, and this is another advantage that PlayStation has. PlayStation 5 trigger feedback. This is on the No Man's Sky patch notes. Players on PS5 will experience the console's new sensory features in No Man's Sky. So basically, when you pull on the trigger, like if you're shooting, when you pull on the trigger, it's kind of like Rumble. We've had Rumble for a long time, where the controller vibrates in order to make it feel more real, like when the ground is shaking and stuff. But this, as far as I can tell, it's just improved version of Rumble. It's where when you like pull on the trigger, it feels more like you're firing a gun, because it shakes on the trigger that you're pulling. I'm not sure how it works, honestly. It says subtle haptic feedback allows you to feel the kick of your multi-tool as you blast sentinels or mine resources, or the satisfying click of slotting a building part into place. I think it's mostly about vibrating. It might be sound too, but I'm not sure. Who knows? It's probably a kind of thing you can't really describe. I'll see what it's like when I actually have the PlayStation 5 and can use the haptic sensors or whatever. But that is something that PlayStation have that Xbox isn't experimenting with, as far as I know. There's no improved Rumble on the Xbox. There's just regular Rumble on the Xbox controller, as far as I know. Anyway, PlayStation 5 3D audio. This is another advantage PlayStation has. New 3D audio technology increases the accuracy of positional sounds, immersing you deeper into the universe. I don't know if this requires headphones or if this whole 3D audio thing just works on television volume. Because I didn't... Oh wow, lightning storm. I didn't think... yeah, I didn't think there could be any kind of 3D thing on TV audio unless you have surround sound, because I sure don't. So it'd be interesting to see if the 3D audio thing actually works. on my TV, or if I would have to have headphones in order for the 3D audio to work. But anyway, that's a thing that PlayStation has. PlayStation Virtual Reality VR will still work. All it says is PSVR owners can continue to experience No Man's Sky in virtual reality on PlayStation 5 via the backwards compatibility functionality. It doesn't say that PlayStation 5 will improve it at all. I was kind of hoping that maybe there would be better, because there's these little videos of it. I'm pretty sure this is PC VR footage, because PlayStation VR has very low resolution, because they have to run it at 60 frames per second, but in order to do that in VR, they have to lower the resolution. But that was because of PlayStation 5's power, and I'm wondering if maybe the PlayStation 5 will improve that somehow. I was hoping that, but I'm guessing it probably won't. It'll probably still be the same low resolution, but I'll definitely try playing on PSVR on PlayStation 5, but I'm not going to get my hopes up that there will be better resolution. The reason I don't, because somebody asked me, why don't you just play in VR? Why do you play in first person or whatever? And the reason is because the resolution is so low, and a lot of people don't watch my VR content as much as non-VR because it looks bad. It makes really low resolution video, and that's why I don't play in VR much anymore, because people just don't like it as much. When I was doing the No Man's Sky Desolation series, when I was exploring freighters, I did one episode in VR and I had way less viewers, so that showed me that people just aren't as interested in watching when it's in VR because the visuals are so bad, especially in video recording form. So yeah, I'm hoping maybe it'll look better on PlayStation 5, but not really getting my hopes up, but I'll definitely try. So anyways, ultra visuals, and this is kind of the same thing I talked about before, and the video again, or not video, but the image again shows how there'll be like a ton more mushrooms on toxic planets and stuff, I guess because it can handle the memory loading of it without crashing the game on. And that's pretty cool that it works that way. We can have multiplayer, and it's pretty much just the ambient, like objects that don't have collision, in other words. It doesn't like make there be more trees, but it makes the trees have more leaves, and it makes there be more grasses and flowers that don't have collision on the ground. Because of multiplayer, they couldn't have separate objects with different collision, because then it wouldn't make sense that one player is running into a tree when the player on PS4 doesn't see a tree there. So it's just ambient, non colliding objects that they can make a whole bunch more of. So the player on PS5 can see all the little mushrooms on the ground, while the player who's on PS4 doesn't see them, even though they're playing together in the same game. It just appears different on each other's screen. So it's all about improved visuals, but it doesn't change gameplay at all. There's not going to be more trees for me to mine, because it's just the non-playable objects. It's just the visual objects. But still, it's pretty cool that there'll be improved visuals in that way. And then improved warp and startup speeds, faster loading times, in other words, which I really want. We've been trying, they've done updates to try to improve loading times, and like it makes loading time shorter for a little while, but then they go back to being long again. So hopefully this time it'll stick on the new consoles. We'll actually have shorter loading times, and it won't go back to long load times again later. But anyway, on all next generation hardware, use your hyperdrive for the Ancient Portal Network, or the Ancient Portal Network, to warp between systems more rapidly than ever, with warp speeds up to 10 times faster. Of course, I feel like they promised that one time when they did an update to improve load times. They said it was gonna, well, I think they said they cut the load times in half or something, but that didn't actually happen. They just went back up in later updates. But anyway, 10 times faster than on current generation consoles. Embark on a new adventure or continue an existing journey with incredible load times. I'll believe it when I see it. I hope that'll happen. And then there's the full patch notes, which I'll let you read on your own. Like I said, I'll link the patch notes in a pinned comment. But anyway, I think I've rambled enough, and I've given you some of my insight and thoughts on the next generation. I'm still a PlayStation boy. I'm not interested in Xbox, but I do think Xbox is making stronger plays as far as Game Pass and buying out other companies and stuff, which I don't like, honestly. I don't like it when companies try to become a monopoly, and I hope that, but not all of Bethesda games will be console exclusive, because I do like Elder Scrolls series, and I'd like it if Elder Scrolls still came out on PlayStation and didn't become an Xbox exclusive. But anyway, enough rambling. That was the announcement of the next gen update, which we will be getting as soon as the new consoles come out, and my thoughts on the next generation. The next generation of video gaming. Anyway, that does it. I have been Mac. Thank you for joining me for a day. And remember, everything's going to be okay.